Welcome back, everybody. I'm doing a part 2 to the time stop tutorial because someone asked how to add animations, and I thought that was a question that was worth making another video on because that's pretty important, to be fair. So the script we had, it would just stop time normally, and if you don't have this, it's just I made another video. I think it's like my third video. It's just called Roblox time stop tutorial, and when we press E, it stops time, but it's kind of just like a quick effect, and we don't really do like an animation or anything. So someone asked if we wanted to add an animation to this, like what we would do. So, well, first we're going to need an animation. So, like, to make an animation, you do plugins, then you do build rig, and then you're going to probably want to make it for R15 characters. If you don't, like, the R6 characters are kind of not used anymore, so I'd recommend making it for R15. And then do a block rig. And you should get this dummy. If you get a different one, then you're probably doing an R6 character, and I just try to make sure that it is R15, or this probably won't work on your character. So to do an animation, you go up here and you hit animation editor, and then you just click on what you want to animate, so this. And there are a few videos on how to do this. I might link them, but we're just going to name this time stop. So I'll just go over the basics of this, but I'm not going to include this really. I mean, okay, we can. It's going to be a quick effect, though. I'm not an animator, so I'm not very good at this. But you're basically going to, if you ever use like an editing software and you're familiar with keyframes, you set like a position here, and it's going to move to that position. So if let's just make the arms go up, why not? Well, if I just, oh wow, that looks good. So you can use your standard tools here to animate. Sure, we'll go with that, why not? Rotate. This looks goofy, but you can make a much better animation than me, I'm sure. So now at this position, it's gonna go from the first position we set, which is nothing, up to here. So if we play it, it's gonna like do a movement here, and that's our goofy time stop effect. So let's here. If you want it to be smoother, you can actually loop it, so you can go here and then do Control C. Oh, I think you click on them, do Control C, then go to the end and then do Control V, and then that way it'll loop nicely. So if we put it on loop and we hit play, it'll that doesn't really look like a time stop, but if it's not looped, it's probably slightly better. Like, supposed okay, well, you can change the animation. This is just for the sake of demonstration. You could play with this and get an animation that actually looks nice. So you're going to hit the dots here, and you're going to do publish to Roblox, and you can name it whatever you want, and then just hit submit, and then it'll give you this ID here. Go ahead and copy that ID with clicking on this, or you can go here, but we really only need the ID. So now we need to go to this script, and we already have the player who stopped time. This is the player who stopped time. Okay, so I checked the wiki on how to do it. So what we're doing is basically, we're not truly loading the animation necessarily. We're actually going to create a new animation in the player's character and then make that animation ID the one we just used. So what we're going to do is we're going to do local animation is fine equals, and then just do instance.new. And if you're not familiar with instance.new on Roblox, it basically just creates a new object, and we can create an animation. So from there, we can do animation dot animation ID, and then we can set that equal to the ID we have. Now this will work probably, but just to be good practice, sometimes it loads weird, so it's probably a better idea to do rbx asset ID colon and then 2 slashes, and that just works better usually. But you could just put the number. But if you do and it doesn't work, then I try doing this. And then from there, we actually need to like make a track for the animation and load it in, because if we don't load the animation, it's not really gonna work. It's just the way Roblox works, honestly. So we're gonna probably want to do it down here, because we only really want to load it once they stop time. And also we need the character's humanoid, and we can't get the humanoid of the player here because we don't know who the player is. Here the script would know which player stopped time, and we can get their humanoid. So we could, we don't need to make a variable for the humanoid. We can just do ts anim track. Oh my bad, that's a global. Local ts anim track equals player dot character dot humanoid, and then we could do load animation, which loads the animation, and then we can just do animation, which is the name of the one we made up here, and this will be your animation. So we're loading this animation, and now we just do ts anim track and then play. Now if we play it, we should have animations. It'll look weird because my animation sucks, but yeah, as you can see, I have my animation on my character. So to make this a little more believable, let's add a weight here, so it looks like I'm not just raising my arms after I did it. So we'll just do like weight 0.6. And yeah, I mean, obviously my animation looks pretty terrible because I made it in like 1 minute, but you can experiment and make an animation that actually looks nice. But that would be how you add animation. So as usual, the script is in the description, and I just hope you guys can add this to your games and get it working.